Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we'd all observe a moment of silence with respect to former Newton Fire Chief Edmund Zukowski. Thank you. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this regular meeting was provided to the two newspapers of record and posted on the official bulletin board on January 5th, 2024. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Dixon,
Here.
Mrs. Diglio, Mrs. LaFois,
Here.
Mrs. Teets,
Here.
Mayor Kus.
Here. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve the May 13th regular meeting minutes.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 13th regular meeting.
I'll second.
Any comments, discussions, changes?
No.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. At this point in the meeting, the town council welcomes comments from any member of the public on any topic. To help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit the opportunity for anyone who wishes to be heard, speakers are asked to take one turn at the microphone and to please limit their comments to 3 minutes. The clerk will keep time. If reading from a prepared statement, please provide a copy and email a copy to the clerk's office after making your comments so it may be properly reflected in the minutes. Council may choose to comment after the entire public portion has concluded. Please identify yourself and spell your last name for the record. As is customary, we'll begin with anyone in person who would like to speak. Not seeing any movement, we'll transition to Zoom. If anyone on Zoom would like to speak, please indicate so by raising your hand. Not seeing anyone on Zoom, we will close the first public session and move on to council and manager reports, beginning with town manager Russo.
Nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Dixon.
Yes, so on May 20th, it was the Historic Preservation Committee meeting. Just a couple notes from that. Let's see. Harry Kaplan did resign for his position, so that left a vice chair position opening. Wayne McCabe was selected as the new vice chair. 220 Spring Street, that was again carried and will be heard on June 17th. And an application was heard on 131 Spring Street. They were looking to repair and replace some of the wood trim and install some new vinyl siding over it. Ultimately, the board decided that it would be best to just scrape and paint the existing color. And that's what they voted on, and that's what was approved. And the only other thing was that the board had some questions in regards to the inventory and when that would be ready for the board to see. And that's it. That's all that I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Teets.
I attended the school board meeting on May 21st. It was a fairly short meeting and nothing significant to note other than they did request a meeting in the future for the council and the school board, as I shared with you. And I know it's prom season, so for those within the Newton school system and surrounding communities, enjoy your prom and be safe. And we will see everybody at Newton Day on June 8th.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor LaFois.
Thanks, Mayor. I have no comments at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. And the only thing that I'll add is for anyone who didn't observe, there are the Hometown Heroes banners posted all throughout Spring Street and the surrounding area. Fantastic display. Thank you to everyone who was involved with that and having that done. I believe it was a total count 60 or so.
48.
48. 60 in the future. Excellent. And that's all that I have. Moving to our ordinances, we have a second reading and public hearing for ordinance 2024-12, which is an ordinance providing funding for a police alco test machine the town of Newton and appropriating $25,000 for such purposes. I'll now entertain a motion to open the hearing to open the hearing to the public.
Usually you just open the
Yeah, you
meeting. to
just
the
open
public.
Well, I wanted to do it differently tonight. We'll just open the hearing to the public. If anyone in person would like to speak on the matter, please stand up. Not seeing anyone, we'll transition to Zoom. Anyone on Zoom who would like to speak on this matter, please indicate so by raising their hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the hearing to the public and I'll entertain a motion to act on the ordinance.
I will make a motion to act on ordinance 2024-12.
I'll second.
Any comments or discussion on the matter?
No.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. We'll then move to the second reading and public hearing for ordinance 2024-13, which is an ordinance amending zoning section 320-4 regarding maximum bedrooms for multifamily units and section 320-23 regarding parking space requirements for multifamily dwellings. And I suppose I'll open the hearing to the public on this. Anyone in person would like to speak, please step forward. Not seeing anyone, we'll transition to Zoom. Please indicate your desire to speak by raising your hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the hearing to the public and I entertain a motion to act on ordinance 2024-13.
I'll offer ordinance 2024-13.
I'll second.
Any comments or discussion?
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. Then move to the second reading and public hearing for ordinance 2024-14, a bond ordinance providing a supplemental appropriation of $70,000 for the resurfacing of Duma Drive, Duma Court, Valley View Court, and Babbitt Court in and by the town of Newton in County of Sussex, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $66,500 worth of bonds or notes of town for financing part of the appropriation. Opening the hearing to the public. If anyone in person would like to speak or on Zoom, please raise your hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the public hearing and I'll entertain a motion to act on ordinance 2024-14.
Make a motion to act on 2024-14.
I will second.
Any comments or discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. Now move to the second reading and public hearing of ordinance 2024-15, an ordinance authorizing the private sale of public lands not needed for public purpose to the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-13B1. I'll open the hearing to the public. If anyone in person or on Zoom would like to speak, either step forward or raise your hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the hearing to the public. And entertain a motion to approve or to act on ordinance 2024-15.
I'll make a motion to act on ordinance 2024-15.
I'll second.
Any comments or discussion?
No.
A roll call, please.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. We'll now finish with ordinance 2024-16, an ordinance of the town of Newton authorizing the amendment of a financial agreement previously entered into by the town of Newton and WSR1 Urban Renewal LLC, and the assignment and assumption of said financial agreement to 123 Water Urban Renewal LLC. Now open the hearing to the public. If anyone in person or on Zoom would like to speak, either step forward or raise your hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the hearing to the public and I'll entertain a motion to act on ordinance 2024-16.
Make a motion to act on ordinance 2024-16.
And I will second.
Any comments or discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. We'll now move to the consent agenda. on which all items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the town council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. And if Mr. Russo, you wouldn't mind to run down, please?
Sure, 150 is a shared service agreement with Hampton to provide animal control for the remainder of 2024. 151 cancels a grant receivable in the amount of $3,161.50. 152 is a contract to W.E. Timmerman for the Elgin vacuum street sweeper. 153 is approval of cooperative purchasing contract for trucks. 154, contract to Jetvac for the truck mounted combination sewer cleaner and accessories. 155, cooperative purchasing contract trucks for Nielsen Ford. 156, cooperative purchasing contract vehicle accessories Cliffside Body Corp. 157, cooperative purchasing contract Nielsen Ford. 158, co-op purchasing contract Cliffside Body Corp. 159, purchase of a Ford Super Duty F-250 SRW. 160, co-op purchasing contract vehicle accessories Cliffside Body Corp. 161 is a credit to water sewer utility. 162 is a liquor license transfer. 163, payment number 1 for renovations to Firehouse 1, and 164, bills and vouchers.
Thank you. Are there any items that anyone would like to have removed from the consent agenda for discussion?
And then on the back, 165 is the
sorry.
resolution. One more. Resolution authorizing a special emergency for the NJSA 40A 4-55.13. That's the RBC failure on April 6, 2024. And you have a memo from Fred Margron to that effect.
Yeah, sorry, so they're all on the back page for mine. Would anyone like to remove an item from the consent agenda? All right, roll call, please.
Need a mo-
Good motion.
I'm all off tonight. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
I'll now entertain a roll call, please.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes,
Mayor Kus.
Abstaining from check number 10828, yes, otherwise. We'll now open the meeting back to the public. The same rules apply as the first session. 3 minutes. Please provide your notes if you have any. If anyone would like to speak in person, please step up to the microphone. Or if anyone on Zoom would like to do so, please indicate so by raising your hand. Not seeing anyone in either medium. We'll close the second portion of the meeting to the public and we'll entertain any final council or manager comments. Not seeing any, I'll entertain an adjournment.
I will make a motion to adjourn at 7:16 PM.
Second.
And a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Have a great night, everyone.